This is Robert Mardlacci of the Mindshare Learning Report, Canada's Learning and Technology e-magazine, and I'm honored to have a Mindshare TV podcast, Mindshare Learning Moment with Archbishop MC O'Neill Catholic High School in the Regina Catholic School System from Saskatchewan, Dean Vendramin, who is the recipient of the 2023 Prime Minister Award for Teaching Excellence in STEM and the Canadian EdTech Teacher of the Year. Dean, thank you for joining me today.
Well, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to talk with you, my friend.
Well, here I was preparing to connect with you regarding the National EdTech Award that we announced at the 14th Canadian EdTech Leadership Summit in Ottawa. And you were coincidentally bestowed upon by the Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, recently, as of this past week, the STEM Awards. So congratulations on being a double award winner. It's not your first rodeo, but I do want to say a little bit about Dean. And he's won multiple awards in the past. Here's a quote from, I believe it's Principal Dean is truly recognized as a leader in educational technology within our school division and beyond. He focuses on developing students who can not only process knowledge, but also be critical thinkers who can apply their knowledge as responsible digital citizens. When it comes to STEM in the classroom, that's Dean's happy place, a warm and inviting learning environment. He takes a great pride in providing an inclusive and safe place for students to learn and be themselves. Within this environment, he also recognizes that coding and computational thinking are two skills that are necessary tools in today's economy. He uses resources like Can I Learn and Code, Our Code, Minecraft to engage students in rich activities that promote involvement in coding and fosters computational thinking. I could go on and on about you, Dean, but I'd like for you to talk about what it feels to be a double award winner and perhaps what it was like to have an audience with the Prime Minister. Congratulations again.
First of all, thank you. It's very humbling. I feel really grateful and blessed. The thing is that I've been honored throughout my teaching career to work with amazing staff and students. So, and they fill my cup and they keep me motivated and they keep my curiosity peaked. So that's why I'm always trying, like, what's next, what's going on. I know we need to prepare students for their future, not necessarily the future I had back in the day. So that keeps me, that's always forefront in my mind. What do kids need to function now in today's society, but to have the skills and abilities to solve the wicked problems that are facing us as we move forward. So that's why all these STEM ideas, those are the things that we need now with like things like AI and that it's easy to get information. It's easier to kind of get things. So some of that rote memory stuff that used to be prized in the past in education, it's there. So what are we doing now? Well, we need to be able to have students like, how do you use that? What information is correct or not, first and foremost, right? How do you sift through it, all that and find out what's really happening and what you really need and that type of a thing. And then how do you create with that? How do you work with others? How do you collaborate? How do you, learn to work with making mistakes? Mistakes are beautiful. Let's make some mistakes and see where it's going on. Really embrace that learning is messy. I was just at the awards, we were talking with some pre-K teachers and they were showing how their little ones were playing, and to get that curiosity that you have, like when you're like 4 or 5 and you're playing in the sandbox with Legos and that things, where do we lose that? We need that. We need that, like, hey, does this fit in here? Does this work in here? Oh, that worked. Right on. Oh, that didn't work. Or it didn't work. Actually, that's a good thing it didn't work. I learned something new, like, to come around there. So that was kind of the premise and stuff of what I do. And I was, again, blessed and lucky to be recognized for some of it. It's very humbling, but then to be recognized in the area of STEM, in the Prime Minister's Awards of Excellence, it's definitely, it's like I got elected to the all-star team of teachers, so to speak. And it's still got to pinch myself a little bit about it. And it was a fantastic week.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Tell me about the Prime Minister. He's much maligned in the media, but as a person, and he is an educator. Talk to me about that connection and that audience you had.
Sure. Yeah. Like, it's fantastic. And wherever people's political stripe is, sometimes you got to check that at the door. It's okay to disagree with people and have different things, but not to really attack a person. But the fact that there was a marathon session of Parliament going on, but he still came, and he knew how important it was to all of us that were there to meet him and hear what he had to say. And he actually went off script, and he's a teacher at heart, and he said a lot of amazing things that he's really on. He really respects what teachers do, and he realizes that we're the ones that help guide the future, not only just citizens, but just people that in general. How do you make society better? And then he even spent some time after meeting with each individual family and sharing a moment, and that too, where he could have just took off, but he made a point of, saying, you could tell by my smile that I enjoy working with the kids and stuff. And, we even shared a chuckle because we compared socks, and I gave him a pair of socks from Regina Catholic schools and
Oh,
stuff too.
that's so
So
cool. That's
it, it was,
amazing.
it was amazing.
Fantastic. And to be recipient of the Canadian Teacher of the Year in EdTech is the icing on the cake for you, perhaps, within a month that you're. And coincidentally, we were in Ottawa as well. There you see a couple of photos where we announced the winners, and it's never been a more exciting time to be in education. And I credit educators like yourself who embrace the growth mindset. And you talk about the thinking classroom. That I'm so intrigued by that mindset. Tell me a little more about that.
Well, first of all, thank you for the recognition. It's very humbling as well. And I know some of the people that won it in the past, so to be on the same, on award that these other amazing teachers have won is very humbling again. It's kind of a recurring theme. But one of the practices that I use in my class and that I shared at the Prime Minister's Award that I'm really probably make me teach for even longer is something I use in my math class. But you can use in other classes called Building the Thinking Classroom in Mathematics. And it's to work with Peter Liljohal. So I'd really recommend people taking a look at that. And also with my division's math consultant and is another K-8 teacher. Her name's Megan Giroux, and our consultant's name is Kyle Webb. We do a podcast called Think, Thank, Thunk that we break down the book and do a whole, breakdown of chapter by chapter what's going on, but we interview other mathematicians and talk about math. So basically what the thinking classroom entails is having students engaged in math. So you get them standing up, you get them having markers, working on vertical non-permanent surfaces like the whiteboard I have in the back here. They use that, and they do tasks. You start with non-curricular tasks, and then you get into curricular tasks, but then you can consolidate knowledge, you can take notes, you can do assessment. But the kids are more active in their learning. They have a chance to learn from each other. It's just not me going up there and talking. But with some tasks that are open, you can see kids have different ways of thinking that I never would have thought of. That was fantastic. And they learn from each other. And then you can bring it all back. So the kids are doing some wicked math, and it's just fantastic to hear kids say, geez, yeah, I'm thinking like, yeah, hang on. I want to keep working on this rather than just kind of sitting down, writing down the notes and just mimicking, because mimicking only takes you so far. But to be able to go in there and play around and honor the mistakes and learn from the mistakes and go on knowledge walks. I could go on and on about the thinking classroom. I've learned some new cool things with assessment. Instead of giving a test, you can, like, if a kid says what they learned and they meet their curriculum objective, why isn't that good enough? So I'm really working on my whole mindset with assessment is really changed. Instead of teaching for the test, you're teaching for the kid, have the outcome in there, and then you get to draw the outcome. It could be something they draw on the board. It could be something that they say. It could be some individual work, but we're really getting the kids to play with math and understand it in a different way, and be and realizing that every single kid can do math. And it's really cool to see some of these kids that think they're the math expert in the class. It's really cool to see a kid that didn't think that they were the math expert to go in there and show something new, right? Or if you ever want to do another show just on the thinking classroom, I could do that in a heartbeat, but maybe I'll stop there because I know the time's limited. But I get really passionate about it, and it's fantastic.
Right. I'm sharing, I'm on your Twitter, so you leverage Twitter like other educators that capture
It's my
students
go-to
in
or
action
X.
and or lax, yeah, and learning. And one of the teachers who's won our a contest in the past, Celia Capiteo Tavares from TDSB, uses
Cheers.
her sharing as for assessment purposes, right? It's part of her assessment
Yeah.
and showing kids learning in action, and it's a great, um, I guess, way to document the learning, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
And talk to
No.
me about esports.
Esports is fantastic. Trying to get that rolling a lot. Actually, this weekend we just had a provincial tournament that we were involved in for Rocket League, and it was just so well run. And yeah, we have a lot. There's a lot of things traditionally for kids, like sports or drama and that. But there are some kids that don't might not have an opportunity to be involved in school in some way. So with our esports program, it's more than just kids playing video games. It's kids interacting, building things together, figuring things out, organizing tournaments, doing all that. So we have like our daily. Kids are coming here before school, at lunch, after school, playing video games. But it's just more than that. The social interaction, the ability to get the sportsmanship stuff going is fantastic. And then we are also playing against other schools online. We've played provincially, but there's also a national body called the Canada Esports, run by Melissa Burns. A great follow if you're looking for that. She does a fantastic job, and we've played in a national tournament. We've played face to face against schools locally. So
She's a past winner of our Schools of the Future challenge,
yeah,
coincidentally.
she's fantastic, and there's just so many
You-
opportunities
You're in
for
great
kids to get
company.
involved. Yeah, like I said, that's why it's so. Oh, there's me sharing some socks here. uh, so
That is
yeah,
so
no,
cool.
I'd highly recommend people get kids involved in esports. There's coaching clinics for it. Just a lot of smiles, a lot of good things. It can be really casual, but it can get competitive. Esports is like a multi-billion-dollar industry in the world, and it's not just there's scholarships kids
Right.
can get, and there's
And,
different things like sorry.
absolutely. And talk to me about sports in general because you embrace sports and balance. I'm a hockey player. That's my sport of choice. And talk to me about the importance of striking a balance to nurture the state of well-being amongst kids. And how are the kids doing, generally speaking?
Yeah, I think kids have bounced back pretty good from COVID. There's still a little bit of a COVID fog and gap, a little bit in some of the learning because of that. It just goes to show you how important school is and having that continuity and that. There's a lot of amazing learning that went on during COVID, but there were some breaks. So kids are bounced back nice, and it's nice just to have the kids around, interacting, hear a lot of laughter. That social learning is so important. That's one of the big things that school does, right? Is has students interact and build those social skills up. So it's been really nice. Like here at our school, we got all our sports rolling and doing fantastic in that, and the drama production was fantastic, and all these little clubs and opportunities for kids to shine is what it's about. And I think like learning in general and school in general just doesn't happen in the classroom. It happens everywhere. And to see kids have the opportunity to shine and to grow, whether it's physically, mentally, or spiritually, it's just fantastic. And that's why I'm proud to be a teacher and I'm proud to work where I do.
Amazing.
There's a lot of good things going on.
In closing, talk to me about mentorship and how important that is, and who inspired you through your career as well.
Well, yeah, mentorship is really important. Like, I kind of mentioning before about touching the future with the students, but I think it's also important to help, younger teachers out. And younger teachers need mentors, not just to kind of, mentorship's a touchy subject because if you get a mentor that just kind of does the same thing all the time, and then that's what the younger teacher thinks, and then they do the same thing all the time, it can be maybe not the best. Like as a mentor, you're always looking for growth, and you're trying to promote, like take professional development, re-examine assessment, re-examine what you're doing in the classroom, be curious. As a mentor, you also have to learn from your mentee as well. So, I've been blessed to have many mentors and great staff members like the former principal that just retired, Tracy Fuchs here at O'Neill. He was a great mentor. He was such a servant leader, and it really inspired me the way he went out and he led by example, and he led by putting people first, which I think is a great mentor to have. So, and my folks, they were
Yeah,
fantastic.
you
And
mentioned off air when we
yeah,
were having a warm up chat, your parents were
yeah,
very inspirational to you.
yeah, they're my mentors. They're my go-tos. They're always, part of me. And they taught me, be good to people, work hard, try your best, and all those, like, sometimes I take that for granted as maybe common sense or whatever, but I know I was super lucky and blessed. And I try to, do that for my students too, like encourage them, treat them with respect. All those good things that my parents taught me. I try
Amazing.
to pay that forward for sure.
In closing, what is it about Saskatchewan and educators and multiple award winners from our initiatives have been in Saskatchewan? I'm just so impressed, and perhaps it's that Western rigor and
Pioneer spirit.
trailblazing
Yeah.
spirit
Yeah.
that really that courageous leadership and taking risks
Yeah.
because without taking risks you don't get innovation, do you?
Yeah, no, there's a lot of bravery. Maybe it's something in the water. I'm not sure. Maybe it's something to do with their size. Like Saskatchewan as a whole only has
Yeah,
a million people in it, so there's a lot of tight connections. Like I'm part of a group called Sask Ed Chat. On Thursday
right,
nights, we get on Twitter and we talk, and there's just so much good discourse going on, and there's so much good relationship building. I just think there's a lot of fantastic teachers at my school that I'm on, in the whole city of Regina and across the province. There's a fellow award winner from Saskatoon, David
right.
Crowell, and he was such a good guy. And what he was doing was fantastic. He was building these little bee houses and stuff, and using laser
I saw
cutters and
that.
hands
That's
on to make
incredible.
space. Oh, like I said, it was inspiring. So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff going on here, and I'm blessed to be part of it.
Well,
And
it's about community, and you really nurture community and connection. It's that connectedness that really makes a difference, whether it's your peers or with the students and inspiring them on a daily basis. Speaking of which, that's something you're going to go do very shortly. So with that, I'm going to wrap this up. I have the award right here. So congratulations,
thank
Dean.
you.
Yeah. So we're going to ship that off to you, and this
That's an
completes
honor.
our Prime Minister Awards Canadian EdTech Awards Special Edition with Dean Vendramin. My name is Robert Mardlachi of the Mindshare Learning Report. Be sure to check out www.mindsharelearning to get your latest issue. And until next time, stay healthy, stay safe, and keep the learning curve steep. And hang on for one moment, Dean. And
Thank you.